Manchester Bidwell Corporation, people are assets and not liabilities. How we treat human beings once they come into the world determines whether they stay on the asset side of the balance sheet or end up on the liability side. At Manchester Bidwell Corporation, we focus on making sure that people see themselves as assets, as having something they can contribute to their communities and families.
Some of the kids that are bad in school, I'm talking about like fight in school, when they come here, they're like totally a different person.
He really had a hard time with your basic classroom work, but in art he really flourished.
I think that having this outlet for my art has helped me focus.
Manchester Craftsmens Guild was really the brainchild of Bill Strickland. It came out of really an experience that he had had with his high school art teacher, a gentleman by the name of Frank Ross. Frank had really introduced him to the art of ceramics and art in general. And through this mentoring relationship, he developed a greater sense of his own personal capacity and what he could contribute to others. Art, in a sense, really brought him to life and enriched his personal experience.
And it's my belief that most people are born with the potential to do extraordinary things, but sometimes there's circumstances to derail those possibilities. The best way to reconstruct those kids and people who have gone through trauma is to expose them continuously to positive experiences represented by positive adults.
I was born in Somalia. That's the first thing. I was born in 1991. That's when the civil war erupted between warlords and politicians, and the politician and the warlords made the civil war into a racial war where they'll kill and rape people, my kind.
Carson is, right now he's a senior in high school, and he's been going to Manchester since he was a freshman. He's kind of a loner, and but very highly creative. School was a little difficult for him. Super bright kid, but had a hard time in the standard classroom.
Couldn't focus on anything, mostly just sort of sat around doodling things.
Before I came to Pittsburgh, I lived most of my life as a refugee, so my family would be running from places to places. We first started in Kenya, because when the Civil War erupted, my people had to run so they wouldn't be killed and the women wouldn't be raped. So we ran to Kenya. There we stayed in a place called Hagadera for 12 years, and then the United Nations moved us to another part of the refugee camp in Kenya, in Kakuma. There I stayed about 2 years, and then I finally made my way here to Pittsburgh in 2004.
I found out about Manchester through some friends, and he had taken some ceramics classes at the Center for the Arts and loved it. Was very good at it. It seemed to be something he could really focus on, and it gave him a lot of joy, whereas school did not give him much joy at all.
And when I first came here, I met Jeff and one of the AIP students, Eric Mark, that really helped me, even like right now to become a filmmaker and go to AIP. I credit all my accomplishment to Eric and Jeff. They helped me become who I am today.
He was a highly intelligent, creative type of kid, the kind that just doesn't do well in school for some reason, the standard. He went to a Catholic school, which was a little tough for him. So he really had a hard time with your basic classroom work, but in art he really flourished, and it gave him a lot of pleasure, and it was an outlet for his creativity. So, and he also is not a social kid. He didn't seem to fit in, you know, regular kids. And so I found that he always felt a little more comfortable around kids in artistic circles.
But really, I guess mostly I can say that I think I'm a lot more focused, and I think that Manchester's helped me do that.
Yeah, I mean, what I've done here is definitely great, because they give you when you come here, you have your own mind. Like your mind is free. You are allowed to create whatever you want to create. I'm talking about material-wise, artistic-wise, even musician-wise. Like there's nobody that, you know, there's nobody that tells you, oh, you have a big idea. The idea is too big. You can't create it here. Like, you are idea free. You know, if you have an idea, they give you the materials and the opportunity to make your idea happen or to make your dreams happen. And the achievements here I achieved, they were like great achievement. And there's definitely like a strong and great staff here that help you whatever you need.
It gave him a lot of self-confidence, brought him out of his shell. I was amazed to find that he actually helped other kids learn things. As a senior, they had asked him to show incoming freshmen how to do things in the dark room, and he did it. And normally he doesn't take that role. He doesn't interact with other kids much, and he especially doesn't take it upon himself to help other kids. But he did that. They got him to do that here, which amazed me.
I just sort of, I don't really know exactly. I just sort of take whatever I'm working with, like a piece of clay or something, and just sort of form it into whatever feels like it needs to be formed into. And it just sort of expresses whatever's going on in my mind that I'm not even sure what's going on up there.
Some of the kids that are bad in school, I'm talking about like fight in school, when they come here, they're like totally a different person. Like, nobody fights here. Everybody respect each other.
It makes me feel relieved that there was a place, you know, that there, pardon me while I'm stumbling on my words here. How does it make me feel? Well, I'm very happy for him that he has found these people here, and that they've been so nurturing for him.
I'm going to go to college next year, and I guess sort of figure out from there. I really don't know exactly what I want to do with my life, but I at least think I have a good feeling that I'm going to figure it out.
Here at MCG, they make sure that everybody is needed in the world, meaning like everybody's here for a reason. So therefore, they tell you to like respect others, listen to people's ideas, and incorporate them. Just to, you know, because by listening, respecting, and embracing, we can all, you know, achieve something to make the place a good, the world a greater place.
I'm a little bit sad because he's a senior and this is his last time at Manchester, and I don't know what he's going to do without it. I think it's going to be hard for him to leave. He feels very comfortable. It's like a second home for him. And I keep encouraging him to maybe ask if he could volunteer here over the summer or something like that. Of course, he hasn't done that yet, but I'm hoping that he can continue to come here. I just can't say enough good things about the place. These are the most amazing teachers here.
So the idea is, if you wanted kids to be a part of the world, you have to bring the world here so they know what it looks like. And people tend to emulate what they see in front of their face. So the more world-class images, the more world-class people and experiences and ideas and words begins to create an environment that actually physically alters the way that the kids feel about themselves and therefore what they think about themselves.
We have 4 separate studios. There is the ceramic studio, obviously near and dear to the heart of Bill Strickland because that was his introduction to the world of art. But we've added to that. We now have photography, we have design, and we have the digital arts. In the design studio, they do a lot of different things. There's everything from lightweight sculpture to textiles and fashion design to traditional hand drawing and landscape painting. And then in photography, they focus on really taking great photos, learning how to develop both digital and traditional film processes, but also developing, cutting, matting, and framing the artwork for the students so that they can be available for sale. So there's a broad range of experience available to our youth in the arts program.
The arts appeals to that hemisphere of the brain where the human imagination lies. So if you can unlock the imagination, you can also unlock learning and human imaginative possibility. You can't teach the kids algebra if they don't want to live. The first thing you got to do is to get them to agree to stay on the planet. And the arts does it because it appeals to that hemisphere of the brain where the imagination lies, where hope lies, where creativity lies, and innovation. You unlock that segment of the brain. What we've learned through trial and error, you unlock huge, enormous learning possibilities on behalf of these kids.